Yeah, I think, and actually this came out of discussions with some folks here in the United States, and they were very taken with fresh expressions, and they wanted to rewrite that little journey. They wanted to rewrite it as listen, relationships, community, share Jesus. And I said, no, I think you're missing a point here. This is not just about building relationships. It's about actively loving people. And it was in that context that I began to coin the word organized love, because I thought they missed the point here. Because organized love is like a water hole, and people gather around it. And as people gather around this organized love, then community forms and you've reached people. Whereas if you're just trying to build relationships, I was thinking back to, actually, he was an American, and he came to London, and he said, I've been church planting in India, and I'm going to do this here in London. So I said, well, how does this work? And he said, oh, it's very easy. He said, the other day I was in a cafe, and I had a conversation with someone in the cafe, in the queue, and we sat down together, and I began to share the gospel. So I said to him, I said, great, what happened next? And he said, oh, well, this is the problem, because we arranged to meet a week later, and he never showed up. Yeah. And I said, welcome to Fresh Expressions. Yeah. Because what we found was that going one at a time, just on a relationship basis, takes forever and may never happen. Whereas if you build an activity of love, which is around an interest that people have in common, then they gather around this water hole, they start coming back, you've got a community, and in that community, you can have these conversations and do other things that help people walk a journey towards Jesus if they want to. And so I began to think about this, and I began to think about family life. And what struck me was that in families, there is so much love, but it's organized. You know, getting the kids to school, arranging the evening meal, fixing a birthday party, a family treat, holidays. All this is organized love. And then I began to realize that we as a church are falling down on that great commandment to love other people, because we have a limited view of love, which we think is all about being disorganized, having one-to-one relationships and having nice, friendly conversations. And that's really, really important. But if that's all we do, you're limited in how you want to love people. You want to love people and help them have food because they haven't got food. You have to organize a food pantry. It's not going to happen otherwise. And when we take organization out of love, we really, really narrow the way that we can love people. But when you put organization into love, then, okay, I enjoy going to films. Can I organize some film evenings? Very simple, but it's organized. And your capacity for love expands. So organized love is about expanding our capacity to practice the great commandment to love other people in everyday life.